Hey there! Do you know that feeling when you're watching a piece of media and it's looking good, but somewhere in your gut there is a growing ball of doubt and uncertainty? You know something is fishy, but you can't really figure out what yet. You continue watching expecting the stress and anxiety to disappear, but the more you watch, the more it grows. Well, if this is how you felt during the official cinematic review trailer for The Witcher 4.
Stay a while and listen.
Hello friends, I'm Geralt and I thank you so much for joining me today. The video is split in 3 chapters. First, we will explore the good parts, then we will proceed with a breakdown of some worrisome signs and criticisms I have. I will use 3 pieces of media during the video. The trailer, a breakdown of the trailer by the game director himself, and an interview he gave after the announcement. Enjoy! The trailer opens up with a bathtub scene, which is definitely appreciated because of this iconic scene from The Witcher 3. For everyone watching at the Game Awards for the first time, this should have been the ultimate sign. Witcher game confirmed. We continue this ritual with an introduction of another character with a hidden identity, but clearly preparing for a fight. Also, Igni sign used, my favorite one. And yours too, I'm sure. There is a little note here for the fans that are paying attention. They already know who the unidentified character is just by looking at the sword. The story proceeds with a voiceover from a father to his daughter. And since this girl is being prepared for a ritual, the monologue combined with the dress and the crown is trying to convince you that a wedding ceremony is about to happen. The voice of the father is filled with love and care for his daughter, and is speaking about filling out your destiny. Destiny your fate is one of the main themes explored in the books and games, and we are all going to be very happy to see it being explored further. Here comes another moment where we should just appreciate what a beautiful environment the developers have built. It seems they are keeping the medieval look of the villages with their huts and clothing, plus all the references to Slavic culture, like the dress of the girl and her crown of flowers. The next scene is, of course, subverting your expectations. You were expecting a wedding. Weddings are supposed to be cheerful and happy, but instead you are following the girl as she is slowly moving towards her father, surrounded by the whole village, but in silence. Well, guess what? It is actually a sacrifice. At this point, no one should have any doubts what the character is. The iconic 2 swords on the back, silver for monsters and steel for beasts, and humans when they act as beasts. Soon after, one of the villagers actually challenges our Witcher, trying to prevent them from fulfilling the beautiful tradition of sacrificing young women in childbearing age to cave monsters. In this moment, the identity of the Witcher is revealed. It is of course Ciri. By the way, pay attention to Chekhov's knife. Again, let's just appreciate the atmosphere here. Dark, grim and haunting, and the girl with her colorful dress and flower crown seemingly out of place. Ciri is now using the girl as bait and letting her sing her song to attract the monster. Our Witcher sends the girl back to the village and enters the cave. Inside the cave, the monster tries a few psychological tricks on Ciri, but without actually harming her. Next, our female Witcher will use the best tactic, frontal assault against this very large Arachnidian monster. I am curious if this will be a boss fight in the actual game. After a brief encounter, our heroine is with her back against the rocks, and we can hear the monster speaking to her about fate and how she can't change anything. Foreshadowing a bit, aren't we? Also, I love how the nose of the monster looks like a claw. Here we can see Ciri drawing magic power from water. This is great because it respects the lore. Ciri is a powerful source, a superhuman in a way with easy access to magic and ability to travel between dimensions. Just I want to say here, kudos to the animators' spectacular job. What an ugly motherfucker. Oh wow, thank you. This is absolutely amazing. I'm of course talking about the chain she's using, being a reference to her father Geralt and his fight with the Striga Ada in the opening cinematic of The Witcher 1, which is also one of the short stories from the first book. Okay, this looks very cool. I wonder if we'll have it as a game mechanic. Our Lady Witcher ends this monster and goes back to collect her reward. Unfortunately for her, and I must say, she was warned, traditions must be followed, and Ciri finds the girl murdered and I think is on her way to avenge her death, which is one more time a reference to a previous piece of marketing material for The Witcher 3, where Geralt does pretty much the same.
What are you doing?
Killing monsters.
Alright, this is the conclusion of part 1. I think we can all agree no compromises have been made with the graphics and animations. They were absolutely fantastic. Obviously, this is a rendered cinematic and not an actual in-game footage. After all, the game has barely entered production stage. However, there are definitely troublesome moments which I will discuss in the next part. Since I haven't had the chance to speak about this previously, this sword looks very impractical. I will let the sword specialist judge this, but to me it seems like this hole here compromises the structure. How would you even sharpen this thing with a whetstone, especially on those curved edges? You know what? You tell me in the comment section if this sword design makes sense. So the villagers are not weirded out that the Witcher is a woman? This doesn't make any sense. Female Witchers do not exist in the Witcher lore, and they should be very surprised.
You chose her.
Excuse me, what happened to her voice?
Back to the village. Go, now.
You can calm down.
Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
Hello there. Are you lost?
There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Not quite. Not yet. But I'm sure we'll find the way if we set off together.
I understand there was a decision to change voice actors, but choosing such a deep voice seems deliberate. She might be older than before, but she sounds like a completely different person. Yeah, they might try to explain it with the mutations from the trial of the grasses. More on that later, by the way. But that's just making stuff up. On top of that, we are losing the connection to this character we've built from the previous game. Oh no. Why is she drinking Witcher potions? Did she pass the trial of the grasses? When? Where? How did she survive? Oh boy, this is wrong on so many levels. I don't see how they will explain this one, even if they tried. You see, Witchers are created with the trial of the grasses. A very dangerous and lethal set of potions with a survival rate of less than 30%. Only the strongest of male apprentices survive. It literally changes their biology, making them superhuman with increased senses and lightning quick reflexes. Basically, they're mutants. People are afraid and disgusted when they see a Witcher, which is one of the reasons they're also outcasts. And this being one of the challenges Geralt has to face in both books and game stories. The trial was designed by powerful mages with the sole purpose of creating monster-killing machines out of young boys, which also makes them sterile. And here are the problems. Why would Ciri decide to do that to herself? She's already a very powerful source that can travel between dimensions, and she has been trained to be a witch. I guess she woke up one day and decided, hey, why not I just drink this potion which burns my insides, destroys my possibility of having family and children, has a mortality rate above 70%, but I'm getting yellow cat eyes, yay! Okay, let's say she makes that dumb decision. Where are her parents, especially Geralt, to stop this madness? This here is the biggest problem for me in this video. I don't even care if she looks uglier according to some people, or that her voice sounds more masculine than it should. Ciri doing the Trial of the Grasses is an absolutely unnecessary, lore-breaking, nonsensical decision for the games, and I really hope the developers reconsider for the final product. On top of all that, why would you drink the potions in the middle of the fight? Most potions take at least some time to become effective, and for anyone who knows the books or the first game, Geralt always drinks his potions as preparation for the fight. There is super easy solution to this. Just let her drink the potion before she enters the cave. Unfortunately for us, this is not everything. There is another elephant in the room. Using Unreal Engine 5 is a bad sign and a cheap solution to a bigger problem. The studio has lost many of their senior talent and hired too many people who have no idea how to use or let alone continue the development of their in-house engine. And this is bad, real bad. I am not going into details why, or this video will become too technical and too long, but in general, you would prefer to have your own engine, which you can design and later adjust to your own needs. But you need the engineers who built the engine to do that. CD Projekt Red lost them. Let me give you an example. John Carmack, the legend, the god of software engineering, during his time in ID Software, optimized the hell out of their engines or any software that was running the games. This is why you can run Doom on a pregnancy test. Also because it doesn't need a dedicated graphics card, but that's a story for another day. Or why we have the fast inverse square root algo from Quake 3. 6 lines of code that literally do black magic and people make 20-minute videos 20 years later. The link is in the description, of course. Don't get me wrong here. Unreal Engine is a fine piece of software and you can make great games with it, but it is created to support Fortnite by design. For a small studio or an indie developer, using Unreal Engine is a sound business decision. But a studio like CD Projekt Red, which already has its own engine, I am not buying that. On top of everything I already mentioned, here is another reason why Unreal Engine is not good for the gaming industry. It's explained really well in video format. The link, again, is in the description of the video.
You chose her.
Okay, you have no idea how long we've been waiting for this moment. I mean, the entire team.
I am very happy for you, man, but this has been one of the predominant theories, so we are not very surprised.
Ciri is one of these characters that, you know, the sentence that if there is less evil, lesser evil, I'd rather to not choose at all. Ciri will always choose.
A very brief literary analysis for you, brother. First, Geralt did choose very often, although you are right, he prefers not to and philosophizes why he would rather not choose between two evils. The point which I guess you missed is, Geralt is usually forced by the circumstances to make a choice. For example, in the story with Renfri, which is more or less a reference to real life where you are forced to make a choice that you don't want to make. Another example is this video. I don't want to do it, but I'm forced by your ridiculous statements and decisions for the game.
Run!
As soon as the fog appears, Ciri knows that there's a point of no return.
As I said in part 1, this looks awesome. But please, don't turn the fog machines to maximum next time.
And this is another tough lesson in this grim world. Ciri wasn't able to save Mioni because some people are incapable of change. They will probably remember her, the silver-haired girl who saved them. And there's going to be a moment of change.
Some people are incapable of change, but there is going to be a moment of change for them?
Her people. But as you know, our games, there are choices and consequences. There's going to be a way to save her. And this is the hope that the Witcher world brings also. That this world is dark, is grim, but there is a light. There is this warmth, there's this hope in the end.
I do not know who felt hopeful after seeing the girl die at the end, certainly not me.
And this is the hope that the Witcher world brings also. That actually gives you this contrast between grim and hope.
I'm not sure if he can explain it either.
But she's not a female girl. Like Ciri is super strong, you know, personality,
Oh boy, not another strong female character, right? Right? She's not a female girl? What are you talking about? Are you saying she cannot be a strong character if she acts as a female? Maybe you need to have a one-to-one with the diversity and inclusion director Agnieszka. Now I have a few questions for them. Why did the game director of The Witcher 3 leave the studio? Why did the guy who led the development of one of the best, if not the best, game ever created, left CD Projekt Red to pursue his own ideas? Why are so many of your senior developers responsible for creating the Red engine and participated in creating one of the most successful games of all time are not with you anymore? Creative differences, maybe. Guess who else left another Witcher project for creative differences? Henry Cavill. And we all know how this one is going. I want to add a few things in conclusion. I am not a hater, and it's too early to make judgments. The Witcher universe is a passion for me, a big passion. I love the books and the video games. Recently I started playing the first game, so you can go and check it out. There are worrisome signs though, both from the direction of the game is taking and the studio situation as well. But I'm still excited about the future of this franchise and will be awaiting future updates. And boys and girls, remember, no pre-orders. That's everything I have for you for today. You are the best for sticking to the end. Tell me what you think about the trailer or share your thoughts about my video in the comment section below. Also, take a moment to support your fellow Witcher by smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.